New Halo was announced today, Halo 5. It's coming out in fall 2015, along with a TV show. And for them to actually post this before E3, well, partly, we all knew it was coming anyways. But hopefully this might mean they'll actually show some gameplay at E3, and they won't have to do all that announcement like, hey, we're having this new game come out, it's going to be this big thing. They won't have to deal with that. They'll just be able to get right to the gameplay and show some cool stuff. Hopefully, anyways.
Yeah. So that's the business. We put up, I guess you'd say, a mock concept of the box art. Yeah, so new character looks like they're going to be introducing. Master Chief down low.
Yeah.
Some people are like, is that Cortana? It's like, no, Cortana's dead. Spoiler.
Yeah.
We don't know a whole heck of a lot about it outside of the fact the game is going to be built on a new engine. Unfortunately for the Xbox One, this couldn't have been a launch title for them. The Xbox One, when you think about it, didn't really have a launch title. It had Rise and Dead Rising 3.
Yeah.
Sure. It certainly could have used this, but either way, about a year and a half, we'll get some touches with this. They're announcing this now, I think, to try to get some headway and that they will have something probably a little bit more substantial to show at E3.
60 frames per second. It's going to have dedicated servers, and it's a brand new engine, as Paul mentioned.
RuneScape did they had a recent conference for all their fans, and what they did is they took photos of 500 of their attendees, put it together into one, I guess you'd say, prototype, as it were, and came out with this image and said, this is what the typical PC gamer looks like.
So you're telling me this is 500 photos
That's right.
mashed into a single face.
And this is what they came up with.
Was it all guys or was it a part
Well,
women?
no, at the group, and we'll go with the survey here. They also surveyed 1,000 people. Roughly 30% of them were female, a little less than that. This was just at the event.
So wait, what you're saying is that guy is basically 30% woman?
If you want to look at it. We're
Okay.
all 70% water and 30% women, I guess, Todd.
Yes.
So what we did, we wanted to go a layer deeper, actually, and we wanted to see what Google thought of this. So we inserted this into Google Image. AI, what happened when we put this face in to Google is it came up with a Google image search that looked a lot like this.
Yeah, so
it thought it was this guy.
Yeah, it's the same guy over and over. You can do this on Google image search right now.
Well, it said, it's like, do you think it's this gentleman, Mark Zuckerberg? So it's so interesting enough. But it turns out this guy was actually busted for meth possession. So I guess if you break it down, if you really go meta here, Google thinks the typical PC gamer is going to get busted for meth possession.
Well,
anyway, we tried.
That's just what Google thought.
No, that's just Google. What does Google know? Tuesday, Wolfenstein, the new order comes out. You know what else comes out? Transistor. Go with the graphic. Boom.
Wow.
Yeah, so okay. Guys that brought you Bastion, go and just play the video. Okay, so here's the business. On PlayStation 4, you can get on Steam. It's $20. It does have that kind of indie vibe to it. It's very artsy, as it were. I'm not saying that's bad, but how much does this game, just looking at it, appeal to you guys?
Well, it looks like something I would go because it looks different. It looks so different than what's out there right now.
Elder Scrolls stuff is still happening in this game that's causing some frowns. Let's go graphic AI.
Oh, look at that.
Bottleneck. That's interesting. A lot of stuff has been said about this. I'll go ahead and just get to the headline. The game's being overtaken by bots.
Oh, now calm down, AI.
Yeah.
It's not that type of bot.
AI has
That's totally, I didn't.
Yeah, it had something to do with it. Bots are taking over in the sense that they are destroying the economy.
And the problem is when I get into a new MMO and I see that there's a lot of bots, it raises a red flag because it basically makes it feel like it's a very grindy MMO, and it's not something that you want to play. Why would you pay for a game and then go hire someone or buy a bot to then do core mechanics of the game for you if it's not that interesting?
Well, this is primarily the point with this. Why am I paying $15 where I'd have to deal with issues like this in a diluted economy, amongst other things?
But by the way, the one thing I will say about Elder Scrolls Online, they have changed the loot methodology, so it's a lot better. And also, they've been banning the hell out of the gold spammers that are filling up the chats with get gold here and all that. They just ban accounts daily.
Watch Dogs has officially gone gold. Thank goodness gracious, great ball to fire. Gold, interesting. Gold minted, sure, we'll take it.
That's right.
There's been like about 60 trailers for this game. How many of you guys are familiar how long Watch Dogs has actually been in development? Did you guys know it was 5.5 years?
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't expect it to be that long.
Yeah.
Right. In 2009 is when this game actually started. So we wanted to kind of go through a timeline. Here's a quote that was actually from an Us Gamers site from back, I think it was about a year and a half ago. So in 2009, there was no next-gen hardware, and they were designing this game for next-gen, partially. So they actually built a PC rig, as it were, to try to emulate what they thought a PS4 and an Xbox One would be, which is interesting, So the game's been delayed and all that kind of stuff, but it's also been through the ringer, and they've actually had to try to predict what the PS4 would be. Obviously, this is Ubisoft, so they're very familiar with trends. They probably had a guesstimation in terms of what the release window would be for a next gen, but it could explain why it was delayed, because this was supposed to launch with next gen consoles.
I can't wait for this game.
You can't wait for it, right?
Yeah.
It's almost out.
This looks like a dead unique game that they've been advertising.
It'll be out the 27th. No delays this time. It's
Yeah.
happening.
I don't care if I'm wrong or right. All I do is stand and fight.
That's awesome.